Hi, this is Rick Harsch, and this is a book pod, a cast of booksters or books. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure about the terminology, and as you can see by the dyed hair, I'm getting old. The hair is dying, uh, but I feel good inside. I feel good. Although my head doesn't feel so good. I didn't sleep that well last night. I was up very late, and I woke up too early. It's a bad formula. But I'm here, and this is an ad I'll tell you ahead of time you can skip in 3 days. But I recommend that you don't, because I'm talking to you, whoever you are, plus the two who asked questions. One question that was asked, he called it a sailing jacket, was um, complimented, and he asked me what brand it is, and I don't know if that answers it, or if that's just another. It's kind of a rubber thing attached, but here it says geographical Norway, so of course you expect there to be some map on there. It's geographical Norway, Turbo Dry 5000 power garment. Power garment. I got this last year. I was at a friend's house. We were sitting outside and having a little coffee, discussing you guys behind your back. I didn't put that one out. No, it was private. And I looked at his brand new jacket, this one, and I said, "Hey, yeah, let me try that on." And then I just kept it. And I asked him how much was it, and at the time I happened to have the money, and I, took it out of my bank and I gave it to him. Uh, I haven't seen him replace it, so I don't know. I haven't seen him a lot lately, and maybe I don't know. You never know how people really react until their biographies are written. Then you find out all the secret shit. But I don't know if anybody's going to write his biography anytime soon. Uh, but the remarkable thing, and this is why I'm glad that this is called Geographical Norway, and as you can see, this is a rubberized patch as well. There's a bear, a red bear, which is that's I think that's the rare red bear of the Caucasus. I think Dagestan was the last country where one was seen, but anyway, or the last republic, anyway, or region. But this map here, a lot of people say that's Australia. I wouldn't know. I'm not a cartographer. Geographical Norway has a map of Australia on it. Do they even think? Or what do they think? They must think something. And why? For God's sake, why was Madagascar left off? These are questions we can't answer. Nor can I answer the question of the other person because he didn't ask one. That Mac was the one who asked about this. He sails himself, so maybe that's why he recognized that this is a sailing jacket. It's kind of a windbreaker plus. It's not good in sub-zero temperatures. The other guy, Robin, said, "Have you ever done anything on your book covers? I love your book covers." And I think he meant the ones that my press puts out. The press is called Corona Samizdat. And, I really ought to have a toothpick out here, but that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking about the, we got new, can I put this on pause, do you think? um, and then come back. I don't have a bookmark, is what I was thinking, because I pick my teeth with bookmarks, and I use toothpicks in my books, so I get them mixed up. But Robin wanted to know about my covers. If I would talk through all my covers or something like that. I don't know exactly. A large. We're live right now. This rock that I found in the sea and always liked because of the holes. There's a certain kind of muscle that gets in the rocks. It's called a dateli. It just fell on a large piece of glass. This is a small shard from a large piece, but it's the corner, one of four, and there's a, well, anyway, this was being used as a book stopper. I think that's what they should be called. And so bookmarks, book stoppers, that's going to be hell to clean up. Anyway, are things going well for you today? I hope so. So I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to say about anything, but I never do. And if you listen, well, not even closely, if you just listen to anything I say for a minute or two, I'm going to use the wrong word. And I don't even notice it much of the time until later I rewatch to see what people have to endure. This is the first book that Corona Samizdat published, and I find that there's a certain force. The cover artwork adapted from A Man Without Religion is a Horse Without a Bridle. I don't share that thought, but I do think that a man with too much religion is over bridled. So there's something there, but this was chosen by the guy who turned out to be such a menace to my literary life, but did lead me to leave him and his press to start my own, which was a great thing. But I can't thank him for it because that wasn't his intention. But I do thank him for this cover. I think it's a magnificent cover. I don't know. I could not tell you how it gets such force, but it really does. But I can give him credit for that. He likes the wraparound technique that he wants to do that with all his books and to give his own press a look. I think it works in this case nicely, but only because you get most of the beast. And I think the color scheme is good. This was a great idea. This color, I'm no paramedic, but if you ask me, that's a good choice of colors. And the only thing I think maybe I'm not sure. If I were designing this, I'm not sure that I would have done this quite so large. But I do think that it is an excellent cover. It was before we got our logo, so unfortunately we don't have our logo here. It just says Corona Samizdat. And but I think it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And Peter Damian Bellis is the name of the publisher of Riverboat Books. And I had to leave that press because of various indiscretions on his part, and a lack of honesty and character. But he did a nice job here. But the look of a book often depends on more than your image, and this book really is. If I had a copy of the old one, I'd show it to you, but without, this is a blurb by Stephen Moore, which is a pretty significant thing to have on your book, especially if it's on shelves. I don't have it on shelves right now, except in my storeroom where I sleep with my dog. And but it also, just from a distance, it balances the cover out. And so this is a terrific cover. And I'm going to put it over here. And let's see if I lift another book, what's going to happen? Okay, nothing bad. At the same time that came out, this came out. Now, I wanted this photo on the cover of this book. This is the longest baseball book you're apt to read this year, if you are apt to read this year a baseball book. Look, there's a at the end I got frame by frame of my son pitching, and that's my son on the cover. And the reason I put my son on the cover of the book is because you never know what benefits you're going to get in life out of writing and failing to become a big shot who makes enough money. So I happen to have this terrific photo taken by Edo Pella. Edo Pella. Yeah, it's been 2018. It's 3 years since this was taken. This was taken from the year that the book covers in diary form, a season of Little League Baseball in Italy. And I just love there's so many things about it. It's his team is in Italy, which has that language we all love, and his team is from Staranzano, not the Staranzaro, but Staranzano. But they are not the Staranzano. What's an animal in buffalo? No, they're the ducks. They actually use the English. I don't know why. But they're at the northernmost point of the Mediterranean near Monfalcone, and they're called the Staranzano ducks. And walk like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it comes from that, and walking in baseball, and ducking is what you have to do. Look at the size of this guy. He's the same age as my son, who is not really short, but that guy's a giant, and the ball's coming at my son's head, and I look at the look on his face, So there's a perfect photo for a baseball book, and it was I like again. Peter Damian Bellis did the lettering, and the publisher I was originally supposed to be allied with here, who died, was able to put this together so that there's not a light around him. I don't know how this stuff works. It's not photoshopped, not even this mysterious arc, which is wonderful for the photo because it shows that's the arc a baseball takes when it's hit, when it's thrown sometimes. It's a very baseball-like, it's also Pinchonian. He loves that kind of thing. So it's a terrific cover because of the multiple meanings, and you have the I think I know what the problem was, is that actually not a bad decision made by it was a color photo, but Bellis decided to make it black and white except for the batter, and but he didn't do a good job of merging, but now because it looked like it was photoshopped. the way Bellis did it, but it was fixed by my man here, the late Peter Amalietti. That's just two books. I don't know if I should go on and on about this, but I suppose I'm going to go in chronological order of publication. And so the next book we can do pretty quickly. There's an Ukrainian painter in Isla named Edward Belsky, and I just because I found his a catalog of his work in the house, and I'm friends with David Barteman, the extraordinary writer from Iowa, Louisville, or Portland, Maine, depending on how he wants to define his life. But this is I think that the painting is called Angel, and he took one look at it. He said, "Oh, I love that. I want that for a book cover." And as it happened, we had the cover coming out. And something to look at also is, how do they, when someone is given the assignment to turn a photo into a cover, how do they do the rest of the coloring? And this person just did it very subtly, didn't put a lot of time or effort into it, but did a nice job of leaving the making it, varying the colors on back so that it's not just plain, it's not the dull and one color, but also so that the focus is really there. I love this cover, but part of the artwork is making sure that it's not just a great photo on a cover, and it works overall, and it does by putting these shades of color in there. That's a great one. The next book that came out is interesting, as they all are. The Skulls of Istria. I live in Istria, and also in Istria is a place called Krastolia, where there's a defensive wall around a church, and inside the church was discovered I believe, 14th century fresco of the Danse Macabre, the Dance of Death. And this is that Dance of Death, a selection of it. And I love, that one was chosen. I didn't do it, and I really think that when I look at this, there's something that's not working. And good as it is with the two grinners, I think that a true artist could make a better cover with this. But I ain't complaining. And on the back, there's a lovely job of putting somehow in the background the I don't know if it's further. There's actually a small person being led to death here. So that was a natural. Skulls of Istria, Rastolia, Dance of Death. The next one is a bit of a disappointment because the best cover man in the business did it, but I think there was some miscommunication, and you may look at it and say, "What's wrong with that?" And I look at it and say, "What's wrong with that?" I love his choice of fonts or typography, but this didn't come out very clear. And the reason is, and also he didn't get to do the spine. I chose the material for the back, and he arranged it. This was to subvert the normal expectations of a book. Instead of a description of the book, you get a description, an actual one of me, the author. And so there's no information about the author, but there's an author photo, me giving Jimmy Joyce the grope in Trieste. And then the description of the book comes in the form of a disclaimer. And that was a lot of fun for me. We've got a giant shadow of a roach over an abstract map. So it's a brilliant cover. I really love it, but the guy who did it said that it all would have been more clear. He didn't realize that they were actually taking the cover. I don't know what it was, but he needed one more shot at it, and he would have done something different with the back, and with the or with the to merge the the rather lifeless spine. Um, he needed probably another half hour, and and this quote, which is a very nice quote, um, uh, is a little bit hard to read, and but I love it. I love it, and one person, we've had a couple of votes surrounding our covers, and this has been voted for, so that's gratifying. I really love that roach. I mean, it's all over. It's a geographical novel. The driftless zone in Wisconsin, also Minnesota and Iowa and Illinois, but this takes place in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, and so you've got that that the menace of the roach, and it's just to me it's a brilliant conception. Maybe a little problem with the color, and we'll get back to that problem with another book um, that came out just too dark. Now here, Arjun and the Good Snake. This is Zach Tanner's first cover for us. It started with me asking if he knew how to Photoshop, because this is an actual photo I took of a monkey that was drinking Pepsi that he stole from me in Mahabalipuram in India, south of Chennai. And but the book is about alcoholism and snakes and children, and look at the way he made the drawings. I actually found a drawing by my son that looked very much like this one, so he actually captured the age in this. But then this is what I really wanted: the cobra spine. A problem arose with Zach had an idea to have that sort of embedded Arjun and the Good Snake, and somehow he hadn't worked with the printer yet, and there was a problem with it that could have been solved with one more discussion. But I don't care. I mean, I love the fact that you can't see it. I love a mistake. It's also in Hindu culture, many Hindus believe that in the evil eye sort of concept. When you see someone's baby, you say, "Oh, what an ugly baby," because you don't want the gods to be jealous, and so it's good to have a flaw. And also, what can beat an actual shot that I took of a cobra in Jesus? More drama. The mechanism I had keeping the door shut was, well, I don't know. It fell. The door swung open. The dog ran in. Cause and effect is unclear at this time. We'll hear in the future. As soon as any reports come in, I'll let you know. But I don't know if the dog caused it or if it caused the dog. Suleiman, if you could talk, you wouldn't. So this is a real favorite of mine. And again, I wanted this picture on back, where the author photo might go. That would be me. But these are two guys I got to know very well. in my many trips to India to see family. And then in the background is a charming photo of me and my son. My son is backing away from me with a snake, um, and you know he's happy, but he's not quite sure about whether he's ready to touch a snake. And what do we have here? Uh-huh. One of the okay, your color scheme here is this is whatever color this is. If it is a color, it may be the color of the unveiled universe. Jeff Bursey's Unidentified Man at Left of Photo, which is a classic of you don't even have to say it. At the left of the photo, well, you can see a cropped llama. So the unidentified man was obviously at the farther left. And what I love about this is there was a house in the background, and they didn't want to have any problems with asking permission, paying, whatever, and so they managed to fake it. Now these are not fake llamas, so you get the intensely real to the blandly false, and that alone is great when you add the conformism of the llama, the title of my next novel. But then when you turn it around, this color is perfect for the dune of Prince Edward Island, the dunes of Prince Edward Island. This is a very good example of the less known parts, or the less commented on parts of the artistry of cover work, because you have the back completes it beautifully, and I'll get into logo, and this is called a barcode, and according to my printer, it has to be on the book. I was thinking, maybe for some of the books with French flaps, we could put it here, inside, and I'll show you why. By leaping ahead. Oh, Arjun and the Good Snake, by the way, 3 covers were made with actual cobra skin. And this is a thin bit of leather to give it support, because an artisan, a leather man, the last in Isla, made these. I had 1 cobra skin. He was able to make 3. I sold 1, gave 1 to Arjun, who is in the title, and kept 1 for myself. And it's an heirloom now, and I just keep it with my personal books on the shelf. So left that out. About that. Look at that. This is, I think, the same guy who did Driftless trilogy, Jason Snyder of Staten Island, did this, and it was a labor of love. I couldn't pay him, and he just he said, occasionally I like doing this, and there's so many things of genius to this one. I gave him images that I liked, and what worked the best was something, a very simple idea, which I didn't notice at first. My wife noticed it right away. That because this map is in the eyeball shape, or eye shape, not eyeball shape, eye shape, and he made it look like a ship, and and so just by not as an amateur, I would have taken that map and just put it on right here. And see, isn't that cool? An old map with from the 16th century probably, and it's shaped like an eye. Isn't that clever? It's cool. But the master made it into this, and there we get our final logo, and this terrific back, which I I I did not want any writing at all on the back. Blurbs are an artifice. They're for sales, and I didn't want any blurb. But you got to have this. It didn't have to be this big, but I was so thrilled with what it was, and it kind of comes in late in the process. You leave, you're going to put that there, but in some books we have the logo here and here. I wanted this as clear as could be, and this is the one book that's really not really marred. I mean, you're so used to looking at this shit that you don't really see it that well. But I have to open this up to the title page, which is, it's simple and gorgeous, huh? I didn't ask him to do that. He just had the idea to put a swordfish there. He didn't know that the first team I managed in Slovenia was the Mečerice, which is the swordfish, the baseball team of the coast. Bunch of losers in baseball terms. But boy, did we have fun. So a bunch of winners in baseball terms, in real terms. We made those Ljubljana people suffer in more ways than one. You can read a little about that in the baseball book. Now, this has been a 30-minute presentation, and I've got way too much to talk about. So I'm going to do a part 2, and I'll stop here. Things have, while this has been going on, we've had a dismantling of my system for keeping the door. The door is strange. From inside the house, the door to the balcony can be closed, and you just simply turn the handle and it's locked. Otherwise, it's kept closed by a magnet. Magnetism, I'm a big fan of magnetism. Attraction, I love. There's more repulsion than we all need, but the magnetism is charming. And so it's a little magnet, but it is nothing compared to the force of even a little bit of wind that comes from any direction other than the north and northeast. So a breezy day. Today's a breezy day, and I think the wind is coming from the east southeast predominantly, and that's enough. I'm out here on the balcony, and it's open, and you haven't seen any effects of the wind, but you've heard one. That was the wind. I had arranged, because what happens is, if you want the door to stay shut, somebody in there's got to lock it, and then they got to get up every time you want to get in, or they can just leave me out here forever. And then you're going to have some you think this is a long video, it can be really long. So I tried to rig up a system that involved an old bird cage, small one, a broom, and a mask. And the masks are so cheap, that broke, and so I figured another way to attach it to the bird cage, and it's on the other side of the handle, and so you can close the door and it'll stay closed, and you can get in and out on your own. Right now, since the door has swung open, nobody has come and closed it. But usually somebody does right away if it's a little cool out, and if it's not cool out, why am I wearing this geographically surreal jacket? Anyway, so it's a troubling situation. You've also had the fascinating. I carried this home in a backpack with about 10 other specimens. It was a grueling day from about 20 years ago, 19 years ago, and you know, whew, just fell on. I got a lot of glass to clean up. We'll have to arrange a team of salvage experts in the apartment to fix that. Had my dog run in and out. It's been a very unusually active and non-solo. Um, what is this called? BookTube. Yeah. So we're gonna do part two uh, later. Oh yeah, I can't do that. Noah said I can't do it. Noah, Noah. You know, Noah wrote something on the comment in the comment section. Oh, somebody just shut the door and put a basket in front of it so that I can actually push it open. Didn't lock me out. Anyway, Noah wrote something on a YouTube comment. You know, Noah never writes anything mean or ugly or whatever. And somebody wrote, to him, everyone who reads it must converse. And somebody responded with, everyone who reads it must converse. You ain't my dad. I have no idea what it means or what he's referring to, what the tone is, if it's funny, if it's angry, and anyway, just to throw out some more bullshit, because this is that kind of video. It's a rambler. Oh yeah, I can't do that. Noah told me, and the reason I thought of that was, Noah, you ain't my dad, but he is my advisor, and I do what he says. Thanks for the three of you who are going to be interested, and the rest of you who shake your heads and click on the no more subscribe and the negative button. I understand your feelings. I don't know what. I think I'm looking this way, right? Am I looking in? If I'm looking in the eye on this side? Oh, that little hole right there. Yeah. Hi. Now I'm looking right at you. Okay. Bye now.